Welcome to a brief introduction to infix, prefix, postfix notation. So, infix, postfix, and prefix notation are three different ways of writing an equivalent expressions, mathematical expressions. So we have the idea of an expression tree on the right, which we can take the operands and the operators and put them in a tree, and we'll talk about trees later on in the semester. And there are three ways of looking at the expression. So the first one here is a times parentheses b plus c divided by d, and that's what the equivalent infix notation is for this expression. So you can see on the tree we have at the bottom we have b connected to plus and c, so that's the b plus c. We have a times the result of b plus c, and then we have the result of that divided by d. So that's sort of the expression that we have. So we have the a times b plus c divided by d, and then we have a postfix notation where we have the operators after the operands. So we have a, b, c plus d times d divide. And then we have the opposite where we have the prefix, where we have divide times a plus b, c, d. So infix notation, that's the normal notation, the one we learn in math in elementary school. A times b plus c divided by d. Now it requires some additional information to know which operations to apply before other ones. So we have to have parentheses. So the parentheses say we got to do this operation first. So we look at that equation and we know we have to do b plus c first. And then we have operator precedence, which says if we don't have parentheses, we have to say whether or not multiply and divide becomes before plus and minus and modulus and other operations. So you've got to, and also the idea of do you go from left to right or right to left on your operations? You know, do you say, so the parentheses says you do b plus c first, and then do you divide by d and then multiply by a? Or do you do a times and then divide? It turns out it doesn't matter, but you often want to consistently go through the operators. So infix notation is the normal one, the ones that we learn in elementary school, but it does require all this additional information to allow us to evaluate the expression. Now, postfix notation, which is often called reverse Polish notation, the operators come after the operands, and we don't need any parentheses because you do the operations as we appear. So we have a, b, c plus. When we see the plus, we can take the previous two operands and apply the operator. So it would be b plus c. We then see the multiply. We take the result of b plus c and we multiply it by a. We take that result and then we see the d, and then we see the divide. So we take the result and divide by d. So we don't need any parentheses. A very simple expression that makes it easier to do the math. There is no operator precedence because once you see the operator, you do the math on the values. It's very easy to implement with a stack. We push the operands onto the stack. When we see an operator, we pop the two things off, do the math, push the results onto the stack, and continue on our merry way. Very easy way to do math expressions programmatically. And the last one is prefix, which is often called Polish notation. You do the operators first, and then you have the operands. So, we sort of have an idea we can store this in a stack. We don't have the operators written before the operands. There are no parentheses because once you have enough operands, you then apply them to the operator, and so you don't have to have an order. It's based upon when you are able to do the math, and there is no precedence. So it's when you can do the math. So we see the divide, we can't do anything. We see the multiply, we can't do anything. We see the a, we still can't do anything because we don't have enough information. We see the plus, we still can't do anything. We see the b, we don't have enough information yet. We then see the c, so now we can apply b and c, use plus. The result can now be multiplied by a. we have the result, we still have the divide, and then we see the D, so now we can take the result and divide it by D. So that's how we do a process at prefix notation. Thank you very much.